Iran struck a container ship passing through the Strait of Hormuz on Thursday, and that headline tells you everything about just how fragile the situation in the Middle East remains right now. Here's what happened. Iran's armed forces hit a vessel called the Ever Lovely, a container ship owned by Taiwan-based Evergreen Marine, as it transited one of the most important waterways on the planet. The strike was confirmed by both U.S. and Iranian officials. According to a U.S. official who spoke anonymously, the ship was hit by a drone. Britain's Royal Navy Maritime Trade Organization reported that an unknown projectile struck the bridge of a cargo vessel about 7.5 nautical miles southeast of Dahitt, Oman. The timing here is critical. Just hours before the strike, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps had issued a warning to all ships transiting the strait, telling them they must coordinate with Iran's navy and stay off alternative routes. That was a direct reference to Omani territorial waters, which ships had been using to hug the coast and avoid Iranian-controlled passages. The Guards' Navy put it bluntly, this route is unacceptable and extremely dangerous. They told vessels to strictly refrain from moving outside the designated routes or face consequences. Thursday's strike was, apparently, Iran making good on that threat. Now, why does this matter so much? The Strait of Hormuz is the choke point for a massive share of the world's oil and natural gas. Before the conflict began, more than 130 ships passed through it every single day. That traffic had been nearly paralyzed for months. Just this week, things were starting to look up. About 70 vessels transited on Wednesday alone, including 29 tankers, making it the busiest day since March 1. Shipping companies were trying to take advantage of a temporary 2-month window to move Middle East crude. Then Thursday happened. The attack immediately halted traffic through the strait. Oil prices jumped. Brent crude rose over 2% to about $75 a barrel, and West Texas Intermediate climbed to around $72. The International Maritime Organization, a United Nations agency, had been planning to evacuate seafarers stranded on hundreds of ships in the Persian Gulf. That plan was suspended after the strike. The attack also directly contradicted President Trump, who had claimed Iran did not control the strait and had assured the public it was open again for shipping. An Iranian official, speaking anonymously, said what drove this: Oman had been offering ships an alternative route through the strait, and that had angered Tehran. Iran sees that as an undermining of its control over the waterway. The official noted that Oman cannot provide security guarantees to vessels without Iran's cooperation, and Iran will not tolerate outside intervention. Analyst Noam Raydan from the Washington Institute for Near East Policy put it plainly: Iran wants this navigational order to be according to its own terms. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was on a 3-country tour, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Bahrain, trying to reassure Gulf Arab allies about a preliminary U.S.-Iran peace framework that many in the region find incomplete. The deal doesn't address Iran's missile and drone programs. It doesn't resolve who controls the Strait of Hormuz. Rubio pushed back Thursday, telling Gulf ministers, international waterways do not belong to any nation-state. This is a foundational principle in the world today, without which the world would be in total chaos. Jacob Larson, chief security officer at BIMCO, the world's largest shipping association, said the attack proved that the current U.S.-Iran agreement on shipping is not sufficiently clear. And that ambiguity, right there, is the crux of the problem. Iran last week agreed to let vessels pass through the strait safely, but it is simultaneously insisting on maintaining its authority over how and when that happens. Those two positions are in direct tension, and on Thursday, a container ship paid the price for the gap between them. This is a story that will keep moving fast, and one that touches everything from global energy prices to the broader negotiations over Iran's nuclear program, so stay tuned.